everybody and welcome back to Teology. As you might have heard, we're doing an Advent series where we're talking about Christmas carols. But first, let's talk about the tea. So the tea for the first day is called Gorgeous Geisha. Got the little packet here. And so it says it is smooth, sweet and so creamy. Essentia green tea combined with the luscious flavours of strawberries and cream is delicious hot or iced as a summer treat. We're having it hot because that's how we do tea here. It's hot even though it's probably getting quite warm now. Because it's a green tea, you brew it more at like 80 degrees, 70 degrees Celsius than normal like boiling water. So this has green tea, natural and artificial flavouring. Those flavourings are strawberry, yogurt and cream, so it's not actual yogurt and cream in it, it's sort of the flavouring of it, and freeze-dried strawberries. So it's quite sweet. It doesn't have so much of the bitterness that a green tea might add to it, and I think that's partially because of the artificial flavourings, but it's not overly sweet. It's quite a smooth tea to drink. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. Don't know if I'll buy it. So I will put this down, but I will not put it down on the piano because I feel like I get told off. And we're about to find our Christmas carol. Do you hear what I hear? I don't think you can see that. So this song, we will start with a biblical story. How true is do you hear what I hear to the biblical story? For biblical, I gave it a 2, which you might say is a bit generous, but it talks through like going to shepherds and everything, mighty king, like these people hearing and like, do you know? So I gave it a 2. I could probably knock it down to a 1. It doesn't really stick that much to the biblical story. Like, it goes through some of the motifs in the biblical story, so that's like, there's shepherds, there's kings, there's like bringing him presents, so like sort of those motifs, but none of this is really in the story. Theology, I gave it a 1 because like there's not really a lot of like theological themes in it. In my opinion, like just going like, do you see this, do you hear this, to like different characters in the story, and the main one is at the end. It says, pray for peace, people everywhere. Listen to what I say. The child who is sleeping will bring us goodness and light. And so there's something there, but you've got to listen to the whole song to get there. It doesn't start there, it only ends there. And so you kind of go through this whole song that's not got a lot of theology in it to get a little bit at the end. So I'm not so keen on that. Musicality, gave it a 2 because it's not the most interesting song to listen to. And so this is part of the reason the theology got knocked down, is because you listen to this whole song that's not that interesting to listen to get this little bit of theology at the end. Not that I actually think people listen to Christmas songs for the theological aspects, but you know. And then pastoral and ministry, I gave it a 2 because there's kind of, it gives you a question. Do you hear what I hear? Do you know what I know? Like, have you heard about my saviour? That sort of conversation could start. But because it's not a very interesting song, and because there's not a lot of like, of the other theology and biblical aspects, it makes it hard to actually have a meaningful conversation about it with just talking about the song. And it doesn't really draw out that much of a response in me personally, at least. It might be different for you. And the bonus point is it gets a 1 for the bonus point. Now, the bonus point is it a snowy white Christmas? Is it a commercial Christmas? Because those are two things that I don't vibe with. I don't vibe with this commercialized Santa nonsense, and I don't vibe with this like white Christmas. The sun is shining outside. We're reaching hot temperatures. I'm not about no white Christmas and snow. So it gets the bonus point. So that gives it an overall score of I just find the song just gives me Drummer Boy vibes. I don't know if you know Drummer Boy. We'll talk about it later. But it can be fun. It takes the elements of the Christmas story, but it removes them from their context, and so it starts to lose its meaning. 7 out of 20. That is not off to a great start.